Hello everybody, welcome back to another Space Marine 2 video. So in this video I'm going to be covering absolutely everything new cosmetic wise on all the classes. Now I'm pretty excited, and now a lot of people have said in the previous video they're very disappointed that some of these like shoulders, for example, aren't on all the classes. Good example is the Ultramarine shoulder. It kind of sucks, so you can't change the trim, but besides that it's a cool pauldron and it would look cool on, say, the tactical or the bulwark. But if you look at this like shape of it, it is a Gravis shoulder, so technically it's bigger. Now, let me just find a basic shoulder. Okay, so yeah, if you look here, it is a lot bigger than, say, a standard Space Marine shoulder. So in that sense you've got to think it does suck, you know, but you've just got to work with what we've got, I suppose. So very I am worried my, well, except my bulwark, apparently I've made some sort of pre-heresy blood angel right there. So yeah, I'm going to start with the tactical and just make my way through all these classes so then you guys can see all the new customization. So let's start with a blank slate. Here we are, my man. So straight away, if we're scrolling down, there's this new helmet. Now this is in the new it's heroic, like, store type thing. I forget what it's called, but it's basically a Mark 8 with a skull and wings, which is kind of cool. It's literally just an additional thing for the Mark 8. And there's other little bits. If you scroll on further down, of course there's this new Imperial Fist helmet, and without the logo, for those who don't want it to be Imperial Fist, you want it to be a different chapter altogether. You've got your Dark Angels with the wings, or without. You could make some Grey Knights with these guys. You've got, of course, your Wolf helmet. You've got your Imperial Fist with the plume, or without, which is pretty cool. You've got your White Scars with its ponytail thing, or without, which is pretty cool. I think there's already a White Scars helmet. Yeah, so that, you know, slight differences, but it's still an additional piece of customization. And of course you've got this awesome new helmet, the Black Templars Champion helmet, which looks absolutely badass. I think it is actually meant to be a Mark II helmet. I've seen a lot of people calling it a Mark III, so I think it is meant to be Mark II, simply because it's a lot flatter. And it's got this little brim there, but you know, of course you've got your bonding studs, which I've still not got yet. But, and then you've got this thing here. So I don't know how to feel about this Mark 7. I've voiced my opinion in a couple of different places. Now, a lot of people do like it, a lot of people don't like it. Now, if it's actually based off of art and miniatures, then hats off to Saber for actually replicating it and, well, making their own version of it, I suppose. Yeah, I don't know how to feel about this Mark 7, I'm not going to lie. I wish you had a version without the Laurels, but, you know, it is what it is. And, yeah, so that's pretty much it for the helmets. So then, for the shoulders, so we all know these shoulders, we all know all these. Like, this is the new Imperial Fist shoulder pad, which is really cool. Then we get into the champion ones, which are down here. I think the White Scars champion, slightly different from the normal one, which is not a big deal really, but it adds a little trim on there, so I think that's pretty cool. Of course you've got your Dark Angels, your Imperial Fist, and your Black Templars, which is really cool with all the crosses and stuff. You know, their little no pity, no remorse. What was that last one say? Is it no mercy? So yeah, they're pretty cool shoulders. Let's just keep that off. So again, for these ones, there's a fair couple new shoulders on here. Of course, you've got the Imperial Fist one, which looks really cool. Wish we didn't have this little fist dangling, because then this would be a really cool, just universal shoulder. But you know, it is what it is, right? And of course, you've got your Dark Angels, your Imperial Fist again. You've got your White Scars, which looks kind of cool actually. I wish we could change the colour of the decals and stuff, but sadly not. Of course you've got your Sword Brethren, Black Templars, and you've got these two new ones, which look really cool actually, and I'm very much looking forward to unlocking these. So this is, I'm just going to do a quick skip to the refinement and redemption stuff. Well, this is the new store basically, that you grind out these credits from these stratagems and you can unlock all this cool stuff. You get gloves for the Phobos, you get new shoulders, new chest plate, new Gravis chest plate, push the Mark 7s there. You get all this old Twitch drop stuff, which is really cool. Previous events and stuff like that. You get your heroic weapons, which was really cool actually. I'm very much excited to make a video on this combi melter and the xenophase, and well, just all of them really. I'm really looking forward to this as well, and you know, just it looks really cool. And let's just actually get back into the customization of things. So yeah, let's just leave it on the Black Templars for now. So yeah, here's a couple of new chest plates. Well, the chest plates we know. So then these two are new. So this and this one are both from Twitch drops. Now basically what you do, you go to pros, you sign up, it explains everything there, and you connect your Twitch account and you just watch streamers for 3 hours or so, and you get 2 chest plates and an axe, which I didn't wait for the axe. I'm not a big fan of the skin. So, you know, pretty cool chest plate. It's literally just this one with a few more details, which looks better, to be fair. I do like the singular skull, the studs and the trim and stuff like that. Looks good for an Iron Warrior. Anyway, so you can make a Malum Kaido build with this guy. Stuff like that, you know, it's really cool stuff. And, you know, all the champion stuff's been added to the chest plates. This is the new Imperial Fist chapter pack chest plate, which was really cool. You've got, of course, your Dark Angels champion, Imperial Fist, your White Scars, and your Black Templar, which was really cool again. Very good for like a loyalist Iron Warrior. I know it's obvious I'm a big Iron Warrior fan, and of course there's this absolute beast of a chest plate. Now this is what I'm aiming for. Like, if I can get all the new relic type armor, then I'm gonna be super happy. And you know, it's just really cool stuff so far in this update, customization wise. So of course you got all your basic backpacks, but then you've got, of course, your Dark Angels, your Salamanders, your Space Wolves, Imperial Fist, and of course the big skeleton of the Black Templars, which was insane. So actually, let's keep that on there like that. That's really cool. So the war gear, there's nothing really new for the war gear, sadly. In the sense of, like, for example, the Imperial Fist tabard. So there's not like a black version of this, which would be really cool if we did get that, but sadly not. So let's just slap on that. So the arms, a lot of arms have been added as well. Well, not really a lot, but it's enough. So of course you got your Ultramarine champion and your Black Templars champion. I just love this trim and it's so cool as the Black Templar stuff, especially for like pre-heresy builds and stuff like that. So of course you got a White Scars glove here. That's actually kind of cool. Of course you've got these two again. Yeah, so that's it for the arms. The greaves. Now this is pretty interesting because we get the Ultramarine one here, but you can't change the colour of the knee, which kind of sucks. You know, I think some of these you cannot change the colour of, like this one. It's going to stay black and silver. This one's going to stay, yeah, that colour. And of course you've got your Black Templar champion, which is like a Mark II-esque type boot, which is really cool. And same goes for this side. You got Imperial Fist, and your Dark Angels, and of course your Black Templar. Awesome. So yeah, that's basically the tactical. I'm going to move on over to the assault now, so then you guys get a fully comprehensive look into all this new customization. Yeah, so the customization for the assault is pretty much very similar to the tactical, just with the backpack being different. All the helmets are pretty much the same, you know, nothing too crazy helmet wise. You'll find on the sniper and the vanguard, it's when things start changing. You know, all the shoulders are pretty much the same. The only thing that's different, really, I think, is the boots. Funnily enough, and the war gears here, the White Scars. That's kind of cool, actually. Shame the big White Scar symbols there, but you know, war gear, nothing too crazy. Of course, your arms are the same. The boots, however, is where things start to change. This is the White Scars one. Now the White Scars boot is not available for the tactical or the bulwark, so it's only available for the assault, which is kind of weird, but I think it makes sense. But yeah, you get basically all the other boots other than the Black Templar champion boots. So they've kind of swapped them out for the White Scars one. So, you know, that's pretty much it for the assault. It's, like I said, it's pretty much identical to the tactical. However, the backpack and the boots are different. So yeah, let's get on to the Vanguard. So the Vanguard's customization is slightly different in the sense of it's of course it's 4-boss armor, but you have a very loose select of helmets. Certain helmets are here, certain helmets aren't. For example, the Dark Angels champion, the Imperial Fist champion, and the Black Templars champion aren't here. So you still get your White Scars, your Space Wolf, and all the, of course, all your DLC helmets anyway. But this is all you're getting really for the helmets on the 4-boss. For the shoulders, it's hit and miss with some of the shoulders. For example, you get Salamanders and Space Wolves now, but you don't get the Imperial Fist, the Dark Angels, or the Black Templar shoulders. Simply because you get this version of the Imperial Fist, but it's not the champion one. It's the cosmetic pack one. So it's a bit like I said, hit and miss. It's not perfect, but I would have liked more shoulders on the 4-boss armors, but it is what it is, right? So yeah, again, same story, just different results, really. It's about it, really. It's nothing too crazy, nothing really like some of these chest plates as well. For example, as you can see here, there is no Victrix Guard Aquila around here. The two-headed eagle, it's not available for the 4-boss armor, which kind of sucks, but it's again something else that we could have but we don't have. So yeah, I think it's pretty cool so far. Make some cool Legion of the Damned stuff with this, actually. Maybe if you could hide the Salamander belt. But yeah, it is what it is, right? So the backpacks is pretty interesting because you actually do get the Dark Angels and you get the Dark Angels one, and that's about it. You don't even get the big Black Templar one, which kind of sucks, actually. I think it looked really cool with the 4-boss guy with a massive skeleton on his back, but that's just me. War gear, you can get the Space Wolf skull now, which looks really cool. Of course, you get that for prestige. And the arms, you just get the Salamanders and Space Wolves, and you get of course the double Aquila gloves, which looks really cool. And you could do like a bit of a scout build, actually. You can make a guy like a scout with these gloves, actually. I never thought of that. Again, for the greaves, you don't really get much other than Salamanders, which looks a bit broken. Not sure if it's meant to look like that. I don't know if it's meant to be an actual hammer there, but there's a couple of things in this update that have broke, actually. But yeah, there's Space Wolves on there, and then of course you get them again, just like that. That's a weird combination right there, but just trying to show off the customization for you guys. Let's get on to the Bulwark. So the Bulwark has a fair few things here, like the tactical. Now, of course, you got your base helmets and stuff like that, or your additional. You get the Mark 8 Errant again, and then you get on down to the new stuff, and of course, you get all your champions once again. So again, like the tactical, you get a lot of helmets simply because you're technically running a Tacticus set of armor. So, I think they're basing all these cosmetic add-ons based on which armor set the character is using, basically. So yeah, it is what it is, right? You can't really control what the devs do, but at the same time, if we shout loud enough, they might listen to us and be like, oh fine, sod it, add it all in, put it all in, get it all in there. That's something very heretical right there. Iron Warriors with an Imperial Fist symbol right there, that's insane. So the Black Templar's chestplate actually changes for this class. It adds the big tabard, which looks really cool and I'm a big fan of. And this just looks really cool because they remove the middle plate on the chest and they keep the tabard, which is actually crazy. You get all your course, all your champion stuff. The pristine Aquila is back. Of course, you get all this stuff. You know, it's kind of cool. Again, basically nearly every champion backpack right there, other than the Ultramarines. I forget to mention them. But yeah, that's some sort of Iron Templar type thing. That's kind of cool. Now, funnily enough, the Bulwark I think actually gets more gauntlets, simply because he gets access to the Dark Angel's gauntlets. The Tactical sadly doesn't get access to these, which kind of sucks, but you know, you can't really just voice yourselves as loud as you can and complain to the developers, where's my customization? It worked with this, it can work again. So, you know, again, all the same boots from the Tactical. I'm basically just making a pre-heresy guy again. Yeah, just like that. And the shield, of course, the shield. We get the Dark Angel shield, which we had before, to be fair, but we get the Champion Storm Shield. Oh, that is such a cool Storm Shield. And I like how it's actually smaller, like in length. If you look, it's more like an actual shield, not just some massive wall. I may find like that one. Actually looks like a shield. This one's just a brick wall. You know, I'm a big fan of all this customization, and if it's not obvious, I'm very much enjoying myself. And you know, it's going to be a big deal when it comes to customization tutorials. I'm going to be pumping a lot more of those out for you guys. There's going to be so many characters I can make from this now, from Asmodai to, you know, I can even upgrade Helbrecht. Is it Helbrecht? I can make Helbrecht if I really wanted to. You know, I could even make Grimaldus from this, actually. Let's just quickly make a Grimaldus. Just quick detour in the video. Just rapid detour. Actually, no, what am I doing? Just slap on the Black Templar stuff. Quick sketch of Grimaldus. That one. To be fair, this is the only time I'd use the Mark 7. My god, I'm losing my voice. Yeah, so Grimaldus. Just like that. So, you know, we can do so much with this update, and I'm very much looking forward to it. And, you know, there's so much more we can do. Let's get onto the sniper now. So, here we are with the sniper class. Now, there's a few things on here that haven't really changed. The additions that we have are basically the same as the Vanguard. So, let's just head on over to helmets. Like I said many previous times, nothing really much added, really. Which does kind of suck. It just seemed like the Space Wolf Champion is sort of universal, so it's a bit weird. I don't like it. I mean, it'd probably look good with the HUD, to be fair. Let's find a. I just realised I'm not playing Starties. The HUDs are optional. They're not additions. Oh. Well, that's look really cool with the HUD. I mean, the ears would poke out, but damn. If it's not obvious, I'd play Astartes way too much. So let's just slap on the Oculus one. No, actually, let's put the Imperial Fist one. Sort of like a Mark IV style helmet. I like it. So yeah, the shoulders again, like the Vanguard. It's limited again. You know, we don't really get much. Slap on the Salamander one. And yeah, you know, it's kind of sucked. I mean, I don't get why this is on here if we can't have like normal tactical shoulders. I mean, when I see this kind of stuff, it makes me think, if we can have all of this like cross armors, like cross class customization, then it means, for example, we could have, no, it's nothing too crazy, but this shoulder on the Vanguard, even though there's already many similar shoulders on the Vanguard, but you know, I'd love to have this on the Vanguard too, you know, without the rope that's on the Vanguard version, just have this dangling there like that. But you know, like I said, a lot of these like the chest plates, for example, could have all these chest plates on the Vanguard, and I do think it would look better personally, but you know, you can only take stuff so far, I suppose. I mean, we could push for like, if you push for cross-class customization, then that'd be absolutely insane. You know, that'd be actually wild. So yeah, again, salamanders, Imperial Fist, and Space Wolves, nothing too crazy. I mean, there's a bit of clipping here, but yeah, you know, no crazy. I mean, you get the Salamander's cape finally. Is it additional? Yeah, so you can't change the skin on the back, which kind of sucks. I would have preferred it to be like this one without the skin on the backpack, but you know, we can only get certain things. It's not like it's modded or anything. So you can make some like full boss Legion of the Damned with these legs if you really wanted to. I think that'd look really cool. So yeah, let's get onto the heavy class now, the final one. So here we are with the Gravis armor, the heavy class. Oh my god, that voice break. I really hope I edit that out. So here we are with the Gravis armor, the heavy class. So with the helmet, so of course you got your Gravis helmets. Well, the DLC you get your Mark 8. You know, you get, I think it's basically the same as, look at that. It's basically just the Gravis helmet that we already have, just with the laurels. Nothing too crazy, right? So, you know, this does add a lot of customization. I'm very much happy we can get the Black Templar's helmet on here. You know, it's the helmet selection for the Gravis again is like the tactical and the assault and the bulwark. Very big selection of helmets. Certain helmets aren't available though, sadly, which does kind of sort of take that off. There we go. So again, shoulders, they're pretty limited this time. You don't get your Imperial Fist shoulder, but you do get the, of course, like I said many a time now in this video, you get this version because it's across all armor sets. But you do get the Black Templars and the Dark Angels, but you don't get the Imperial Fist, even though the Imperial Fist is a similar shape to this shoulder. It's pretty interesting that, but I do think this is cool. Just kind of sucks that you can't change this green trim. So yeah, the ultramarine shoulders are sadly limited to the Gravis, like I said at the beginning of the video, but there's also a bonus thing for the Gravis and new chest plates. So you get this, but you don't get any of the new pros content, which does kind of suck. Would be cool to have this chest plate in like the pros, the new Twitch drop style stuff, and of course you get this thing, the chained rampart, which looks insane. I really like that stuff, like all the chains and shit. It's really cool. And of course you get your ultramarines. That was actually kind of cool. You could probably make some type of Death of Hope type stuff with that. Get your, of course you get your different Aquillas, you know. Pretty simple stuff, really. Let's slap on the eagles. I'm actually going to make a Death of Hope go. Let's do this. Get the eagles on. Ooh, you get the Black Templar legs on this as well, which is insane. It's actually really cool. I'm stuck for choices. I'm stuck for choices. Yeah, just like that. Yeah. Just slap on the ultramarines. There we go. So yeah, this is pretty much it for this video. There's nothing too crazy. A lot of the stuff I would appreciate on other classes like the Gravis shoulders, but they'll probably explain it away as oh, it's Gravis armor, it can't go on Tactics armor and stuff like that. So, you know, let me know what you think in the comments. If you agree with me that it is silly that, well, it's only for this class that we get these shoulders and not any other class, but you know. But yeah, that is about it for this video. If you did like this video, please leave it a like. If you didn't like, leave a dislike. I do not mind. If you want to keep up to date on everything Space Marine 2, please do subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.